Back to firegoal today. It's my first reaction. Yeah, I'm gonna react to Goji Center T-Rex versus Spinosaurus. Oh, I'm gonna be excited for this. Okay, let's get started. Cool intro.
It is the most disputed dinosaur matchup in history.
Yeah, true.
A rival never witnessed in the real world, but
yeah.
recreated and imagined by millions.
Is that a T-Rex in the sea? And okay, that T-Rex is done, man. That T-Rex is dead in the water.
The battle between the most terrifying predators
now.
ever seen, the Tyrannosaurus Rex versus the Spinosaurus.
Bruh,
Today we will uncover the hard stats studying these two.
Okay, I did not know that a Spinosaurus' skull was that thin. Look how thin that is, man. That's so thin.
Extinct predators in detail
God.
while analyzing their attack methodologies,
that's a running
agility,
T-Rex.
terrain, and other auxiliary weapons that will dictate who will
I think
survive
the
to see
T-Rex
the
might
next
win
day
this because
and
that's
who will cease to exist.
that
For the
is
very
thin.
first time, we'll witness all data discussed here compiled into a combat.
Did you see how large that Spinosaurus was?
Agility, terrain, and other auxiliary weapons that will dictate who will survive
did
to
you
see the
see
next
how
day
big that
and who will
Spinosaurus
cease
was? Okay, this is the spine of the
to exist.
Spinosaurus.
For the very first time.
Look how big that thing is, man. Like, that's not even trying to reach its full height.
We'll witness all data discussed here compiled into a combat simulator featuring both dinosaurs in a fight to the death. Coming up, Tyrannosaurus Rex versus the Spinosaurus. Corporal builds. This battle has been a topic of debate for decades,
look how thick that
but
tail
only
is.
seen on screen with renditions that are now considered outdated. Today, the simulator...
What the... Why? The Spinosaurus is gonna win, but this is from the movie. I don't think... Because if you see the Spinosaurus, it looks very different from the real one. Yeah, I think that...
I think using relatively updated
this is the
of these two
this is the real
dinosaurs,
one.
beginning with
This is also a real
Tyrannosaurus
T-Rex
Rex.
then.
Throughout the years, it has been believed that this theropod was one of the largest of its kind.
Yeah,
all
except
of its
Giganotosaurus.
predecessors. In this simulation, we will be taking into account the sizes of two of the larger specimens recovered, maxing out this...
Bruh, that's a human adult. I'm just a kid. That's like just a slurp. Boom, I'm dead. Swallow. Doesn't need even chew, man. I'm just that small.
T-Rex to up to 13 meters in length.
13
in terms
meters.
of height, this creature would have measured 4 meters at the hip. You will notice how this newer rendition of the T-Rex is actually much bulkier than the
my god, that's like
seen in films and
it can literally survive an entire army.
This creature's bone structure also reflects its
heavy
build, allowing this creature to weigh as much as 8.9 thousand kilograms, or approximately up to...
What? 8,900 kg, man? What the hell? I mean, of course, it's a big theropod, of course.
9.7 U.S. tons. Given its proportions, this creature now ranks as one of the heaviest and largest theropod predators in history. Its opponent, the Spinosaurus, has been the topic of much discussion throughout the last 20 years due to its ever-changing dimensions.
What is that? Like the normal Spinosaurus, you see, that's the 3D model. Above that, in the side, you see a standing up version. What is that thing?
Body
That's
shape and capabilities.
Oh, there are many versions.
We now know, thanks to the most recent studies, that this theropod was actually a bit more robust than what we imagined back a couple of years ago.
Wait, this thing was robust? What?
We will be taking these Spinosaurus' remains when generating a contestant for this simulation, giving us a dinosaur that can reach lengths of up to 15 meters and a height of 2.3 meters, 5 at the tallest.
Okay, that's not that tall though.
Weight-wise,
that's
the
5
results are a bit surprising.
While
it is true that the Spinosaurus has a seemingly lighter build than the T-Rex, recent estimates have placed the Spinosaurus' weight from 7 to 8.3 U.S. tons to around 10 tons. This was due to many factors seen through more recent digital models that suggest that this creature was more stockier than anticipated. In addition to that, a new study released in 2022 stated that this animal's bones were much more dense, which would also contribute to its heavy build. By putting these factors into account, we see that the difference between corporal dimensions has now diminished considerably compared to previous assumptions. The next thing to analyze is how these builds aided in their forms of movement, agility, and speed.
Oh, that's a huge battle, man.
Locomotion.
I don't want to
Well, it
be
is
there,
obvious
man.
that the Tyrannosaurus was clearly adapted for terrestrial locomotion. Its actual speed on land has been fiercely disputed. Recent computer modeling and other analyses have concluded that an adult T-Rex was not capable of running as we know
what?
it.
A T-Rex is not able to run?
A running gait.
What? Oh, they can't do a running gait. That means they can only do like a walk?
Which is the act of having both feet off the ground while running.
Okay,
but
so
it could do what is known as a fast walk.
Oh, it has
Recently,
a fast walk.
it's now estimated that a T-Rex at full speed could reach anywhere around 5 meters per second, or 11 to 18 miles per hour. Although this may not seem very fast, recent studies have found evidence that this T-Rex was more agile than we think. Not too long ago, a group of researchers argued that this dinosaur's ilia,
like
the
if that
bone in the
ran
upper part
into
of the
a
hip,
tree,
was
that tree
adequate
is
for
dead.
allowing the Rex to pivot from one direction to another like a figure skater from hell. The team took into account centers of mass to rotational inertia, making the T-Rex's agility score higher compared to other similar-sized theropods. Unfortunately for Spinosaurus, there are no published reports on the Spino's maximum speed on land.
What?
But based on its reduced leg size, we can guess that this creature was not a terribly fast mover, possibly moving to speeds slower than the T-Rex or equal at the most. The obvious go-to for a locomotive advantage would have been a nearby body of water. Yes, there has been debate on whether the Spino was a good swimmer.
This thing is going to be a very good swimmer, man. Have you seen that feet? It's like duck feet, man. And ducks are very good swimmers. And this thing is, of course, it's like everyone knows the Spinosaurus is the best swimmer. It's the best dinosaur that can swim.
The study mentioned earlier gave further evidence
that
this
dinosaur going in the water
could not
like
only
it just
swim
don't care.
well, but also dive deep into the water.
This
dinosaur was said to have osteosclerosis, which is a condition of having denser bony material. This was also accompanied by possible pachyostosis, which is the thickening of certain bones.
The T-Rex might
Apart
lose
from
this
being
one.
able to submerge itself, this animal's tadpole paddle-like tail was evidence that this animal
That's
could
why
move
it has
through an
a thick
aquatic
tail.
environment and capable of exerting 8 times the force of other theropods.
That's
but what
why
about
it
the
has a thick
T-Rex?
tail.
New evidence discovered by Scott Persons and team suggested that this animal
That's a
could
very
in fact
huge
travel by
T-Rex,
water
though.
from time
That's
to
a very
time,
huge
thanks to
T-Rex.
claw marks on a riverbed that were 50 feet apart from
This
each
thing
other.
can go
but
underwater?
not well enough, like its rival, the Spinosaurus.
Oh, okay,
now
okay,
that we know how these
go
creatures
well,
move,
okay.
let's quickly go over how well these things can stay upright.
Okay, so I think
Stability.
stability.
Getting tipped over in a
We're
fight
going to
with
look at the
dinosaurs of
stability.
these dimensions could be fatal. By observing both of these creatures' centers of gravity, we find that the T-Rex's was located in a much higher position than the Spinosaurus. Proportionally, this means that the Spino does indeed have a wider stance thanks to its shorter legs and auxiliary front limbs. Because of this, if both T-Rex and Spino were hit in the same location, the Spinosaurus would be harder to knock down. Not to mention that recent observations also suggested that this Spinosaurus could rear up on its hind legs and use its tail as a third limb for stability thanks to its closer proximity to the ground compared to the T-Rex. But which of these creatures would be intelligent enough to figure out these stabilizing intricacies?
I'm kind of worried that the T-Rex might lose. Well, I'm afraid that the T-Rex might lose.
Especially extinct creatures. The best methods of studying this is with brain scans and analyses of their sensorial organs that would have been there. There has not been enough research to properly determine the intelligent quotients of Spinosaurus. The closest we are to understanding its brain capability is a study done on the neuroanatomy of Irritator challengeri, a relative of the Spinosaurus.
We call that a relative of Spinosaurus. I see some things that came from the Spinosaurus, like the face and the tail, but the rest does not seem the same.
Research shows that this animal's nervous system was adapted for picking up low-frequency sounds and special vertical head movements to sense and catch prey. That's all we know about the close relative of the Spinosaurus. But given that the Spino is armed with similar weaponry, we can assume that this creature had to understand how to use these effectively and with purpose.
If you give
the T-Rex is another story. There are many studies done on determining the intelligence of this animal, many which find that that the
You have to
olfactory
know what
organs
is
of
happening.
creatures
Oh,
have
God.
binocular vision,
Oh,
capable of
jeez.
seeing almost 4
Oh,
times
God.
better
Oh,
than the
jeez.
average
Bruh.
human,
Bruh.
and being able to see
What?
clearly for up to
What?
6 kilometers.
What?
To understand
What?
its thinking
That,
processes
oh, God.
better, the T-Rex was measured at 1.0 in the encephalization quotient,
Whoa.
which is the same as a crocodile.
A
But more
crocodile?
recent scans have bumped this
Aren't
creature up
T-Rex
to a
is supposed to be
2.0 to
resembling
2.4
chickens?
score, which is better than rodents, canines, and some felines,
Oh,
and
my
only
God.
a tenth of a point
That's
short of a
smarter than-
chimpanzee, suggesting that the T-Rex
Okay, the
indeed
T-Rex
had
has got
complex
to be one of the
problem-solving
smartest
capabilities
dinosaurs.
and was a very analytical creature,
Oh.
capable of determining strengths and weaknesses to far greater levels
What?
than ever imagined. The only things
The T-Rex can sense weaknesses? Really?
left to discuss are their weapons.
Oh. That was a big bite. I'm now kind of scared that the T-Rex might lose. I'm actually scared.
Bite effectiveness.
Okay, this has got to be
It
the
may come as
T-Rex.
a surprise to you, but both of these animals had bites that could inflict some serious
What?
damage to each
So that means bro got hit. Bro, the Spinosaurus is almost close to the T-Rex bite?
other,
Nah.
depending on a few factors. Bite force as we know it can vary greatly on the number of teeth, surface areas of the bite, musculature, and width of the jaw.
Oh, God.
Every bite is
Mhm.
different. The teeth of a Tyrannosaurus rex are widely known for their pickaxe shape and small serrated edges.
Yeah,
This
like,
combined
they're
with its
meant
wide
to
jaw and
crunch.
strong neck muscles
They
give
can
the
literally,
T-Rex
you
a
know,
bite
break
force of about 8 to
a
10,000 pounds per square
trans-
inch.
I don't know what I'm
Previously, we
saying
have seen
anymore.
larger estimates, such as 12,800 psi, but truth is that it really just depends where exactly you measure it. If all of this force is exerted on just one tooth, for example, this could reach up to 431,342
What?
psi.
That's-
A
bro,
bite
that's
from a
stronger than
Tyrannosaurus
a
rex
hydraulic
would most
press.
likely be inflicted using these areas of its jaw,
My
giving
God.
us this figure, ranking it at the top of all theropod bite forces. This bite was
Bruh.
so strong that it could crush flesh and bone alike with ease, and go as far as possibly
Flesh and
eating
bone
these
alike
bones
with
as
ease.
well.
Okay, this is, bro,
The
this-
Spinosaurus, on the
that-
other
that
hand, had a
thing's
narrower
neck is
jaw,
very thin,
but this
so
does not necessarily
the
mean
bite
that
on
its
the
bite
neck
was at all
moves
weak.
off.
Again, as mentioned
not
earlier,
off,
the amount
or
of teeth and
just,
shape
super
greatly
dangerous.
affect the amount of pressure exerted on a victim. In the Spinosaurus
Okay.
case,
Oh,
its bite
jeez.
force
Wait,
pressure
that's
would
actually-
best be
that's going to be
concentrated
kinda
in
strong, I
these
think.
areas. These
Oh,
teeth
if
were
this
best fit for
somehow
biting
pierces
down and
through
gripping,
and-
which was useful
Nah,
when hunting
man,
for prey
oh, God,
underwater.
I'm
But
kinda
exactly how
scared.
strong was this bite? There is no study that gives us
Oh,
an exact
that
number,
was
but
a
here's
huge
what
claw
is
attack.
known. A study held in
Okay,
2013 indicated that this skull was resistant to torque and tension stresses with vertical movements,
What?
meaning that this skull was well adapted for inflicting strong bites.
Oh,
In
no,
2005,
no,
the bite
no,
force
no,
of
no.
many theropods were
thought
studied,
the
including
T-Rex had it in the
Suchomimus,
bag.
a distant relative.
in the bag,
After
man.
using
I didn't know
mathematical
this would be
scaling,
equal
it is
fight.
reasonable for some parts of the Spinosaurus's jaw to exert
There's a
anywhere between
50-50% chance that the
4,250 to
Spinosaurus might win.
5,200 psi, ranking its bite force among theropods higher than originally thought. Of
Whoa.
course, if we compare both bite forces, the Tyrannosaurus rex still far surpasses the strength of the
Yes.
Spino.
Okay.
But in order to cause severe damage, it is not necessary to reach these levels. To kill the opponent, these jaws must be able to clamp deep enough to cause bleeding or tear through vital organs. The
Yeah.
Spinosaurus would now also rely on an additional set of weapons.
Its claws?
Auxiliary weaponry.
Oh,
Now let's
no,
cover the
T-Rex
last
does
set
not
of
have
weapons that will be
these.
used in this battle.
Ooh.
Both of these animals bring two arms tipped with sharp claws, but greatly vary in size. The
Yeah,
two-fingered
the
arms of a
T-Rex has small
T-Rex
baby
have been an
arms.
interesting topic of debate for many researchers, given that these are unproportional for its size. But contrary to what you may think, these things were not weak. This bicep muscle alone would be able to lift more than 400 pounds
What?
each. Some
What?
believe that these were
That baby hands can literally lift a dumbbell. A freaking dumbbell. Bruh.
used to hold on to mates, assist when standing, or even to grapple prey.
Oh,
The
it's the
problem
grab
with this
and
third
play.
method is that in order to use these in combat, the T-Rex would have to stand too close to the Spinosaurus in order to use them,
Okay,
making
that's-
biting
I
more
don't even
difficult and
bite.
putting itself at risk. And in this particular battle scenario, the Spino wouldn't sit motionless waiting for the Rex to get this close. On the
Yeah.
contrary, it would resort
it'll
to
just
using
like-
its own arms.
Oh yeah, man.
As noted
you
by
think it'll just find something? Oh yeah, man. Just come on, just take a bite. I'll just slap you. Come on, take a bite. He's not gonna say that, man. He's not gonna say that.
Researchers,
That's
these
not gonna happen.
three-fingered arms were not as reduced as its hind legs, suggesting that these held a critical role in this animal's everyday life, especially when hunting. If observed closely, there are two large claws on these hands, one which measured almost 1 foot in length. Other observations conclude that these arm attachments are similar to what is seen in modern-day bears, animals with almost supernatural swing forces, meaning that these could slash and pull back, causing even more damage.
Oh,
no. We also must factor in the centrifugal forces of the swing, the slight rotation of its body, and the body weight behind the
I still
strike,
believe in the T-Rex,
resulting
man.
in an enormous swing impact at the end of the Spinosaurus's claws.
I'm getting kind of nervous.
A firm impact to the body of any opponent would reach forces of up to half a ton to a full ton on a small surface. Enough to daze or fracture the head of a large theropod if hit correctly. And with a big claw to project all this force into a smaller area, this could potentially be lethal.
That
Weaknesses.
Okay.
Before we finish entering the data into the battle simulator, we must debunk a few misconceptions associated with these animals. The T-Rex, as mentioned earlier, did have the ability to swim, but wouldn't have been able to deep dive like the Spinosaurus. By comparing both animals' bone density, the Spino's femur denseness indicates that this animal was in fact much more dense than the Rex was in the water. Although the terrestrial mass seems to favor the T-Rex on land, it's a completely different scenario in a watery arena. A misconception associated with the Spinosaurus is the myth that once this creature breaks its long spines, then it would die immediately. This does not necessarily make sense, since the spinal cord is housed inside something called a vertebral foramen. The spine itself is an attachment or an extension of the vertebrae called a process. Any breakage that would happen if the spino rolled over violently would happen along this area of the spine. Far enough for a spino to not get handicapped in a fight should the T-Rex decide to bite or knock down a Spinosaurus. Interestingly, there has been evidence found that suggests that these can heal over time if they are injured. According to the data that we've entered into the simulator, and given the types of creatures that will be opposing each other, there are two possible scenarios that could occur in a confrontation between the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex. Keep in mind that this confrontation would have never happened in the real world, since they lived in different time periods and different geographical locations. Because the Spinosaurus is also adapted for aquatic mobility and subaqueous foraging, it would also make sense for a confrontation to happen alongside a riverbank, or even in the water itself, with the T-Rex approaching the riverbank because it considers it as a source of water, and the Spinosaurus as a source of both water and food.
Going in the water.
We are now ready to fire this simulation.
The simulation is
Tyrannosaurus
ready.
Rex brings a stocky build, armed with jaws that can crunch through flesh and bone, abnormally agile capabilities, and advanced problem-solving skills. The Spinosaurus enters the fight with a surprisingly stable corporal build, which is highly maneuverable in an aquatic arena, a firm bite with a strong grip, and two extremely dangerous forearms capable of delivering lethal blows to an opponent. We will now initialize the first simulation.
An emoji if I'm happy or sad. If you have noticed that, I've changed it now. Finally, okay. Oh jeez. Okay, both are adults. Like, what do you think, huh? A toddler versus a big one? Oh god. Okay. That's a Spinosaurus because of the spine. Of course, I can see that. Oh, it just took a fish. Is that a shark or is that a fish? I think that's a shark. Why did it... Oh, it's the T-Rex. It's the T-Rex. Yes! Okay, that was a roar. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Throws away the... Why would you throw the fish, man? You're supposed to eat it and then go, man. Oh, now it's ready. Both roaring. Is that a warning that you would scar him? What is that? Is that a... Oh... Another roar, running at him. Yeah. Is it running? Oh god. Where are you going? Oh wait. No, wait. They're circling each other. I've seen this in battles, like, you know, circling each other and then go for the attack. What is that? Like, Nam. Okay, they're fighting. Oh no. Oh jeez, that was close. He just got hit by the claws, I think. Yo, no. Oh no. Oh no. That was okay. Wait a minute. Problem solving things. Bite of the arm, man. Yes. Oh, bit of the clean off. Okay, what are you gonna do now? Bite his head off. Oh wait. Oh, yes. Bite his head off, man. Oh wait, I didn't expect you to actually do that, but okay. Oh, that's definitely. Okay. The Spinosaurus is definitely dead. Yes!
In this specific scenario, the Tyrannosaurus Rex pulls off a
Yes.
win. Given that this was 100% a fully terrestrial scenario, the Tyrannosaurus
Yeah,
Rex
it was
held the edge
100%.
when it came to ground locomotion. The next big factor in this
okay.
simulation is that this T-Rex's problem solving played a critical role in the victory of this dinosaur. While this T-Rex is built in such a way that it could withstand heavy damage, the Spinosaurus was able to land 4 hits in the initial part of this fight thanks to its superior forearm
Yeah,
range.
it took so much
Upon already receiving heavy blows, an intelligent predator like the T-Rex
I
would
was
understand that getting
of
rid of
course
this
you have to
weapon
take
would
down
be
the
critical
weapon.
if he were to get out of this
Disarm
alive,
that guy.
which
He
is why
literally.
this animal went for
like,
the arm. And with
if you
his
think of
immense
disarming,
bite force
bro
and strong
actually
neck
did
muscles,
disarm
the
him.
Rex was able to
If you get
critically
what I
injure
mean.
this Spinosaurus.
Disarm
While
him.
trying to retreat to the safety of the river, the T-Rex now knocks the Spinosaurus down on the opposite side of its body against the side that is no longer capable of holding itself. And with a definitive bite to the neck, it ends the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, that's a big bite.
But what if this battle happened in the water?
Yeah, what will
In
happen?
this scenario, the T-Rex
And
sees a
the T-Rex is
Spinosaurus
not
for the
winning
first
if it's on
time
water.
and has no idea that this
If it's on
creature is
water,
more
yeah, it
dangerous
won't
in this
win.
aquatic medium. Spinosaurus, being the better swimmer, positions in a way that allows it to injure the T-Rex repeatedly. Seeing it is outmaneuvered in the water, a Tyrannosaurus Rex would most likely want to retreat to its preferred terrestrial habitat. Weakened and injured, the Tyrannosaurus Rex would most likely lose this fight. Given the density of the Spinosaurus, another likely outcome would be the Spinosaurus's more dense body aiding in sinking the T-Rex in deeper water, where the T-Rex would most likely be completely out of its element and consequently die. On land, the T-Rex will hold its crown as the most powerful meat-eater of all time, thanks to its ability to leverage its problem-solving skills and knowing how to use its weapons effectively. But even the strongest can fail when placed out of their element. Both of these creatures are without a doubt marvels of the natural world. And although these creatures never saw each other, we know for certain this would have been one of the most epic clashes in the animal kingdom ever seen in history.
Except,
Special thanks to all the folks who helped us to bring this mini-documentary to reality.
Well guys, this is going to be the end of the video. I love you. Goodbye!